And the window is now open to sign up for the Affordable Care, the health care under the Affordable Care Act. Enrollment on healthcare.gov began yesterday and runs through January 31st of 2016. Errol Pierre is here to tell us everything we need to know. He's Vice President of Medicaid and Commercial Markets at Health First, and he's a friend of Arise America. Thank you so much for coming in.
Pleasure to be here.
When Affordable Care was rolling out, you helped walk us through it, came back and gave us some updates. So now there's this first, again, open enrollment.
Correct.
So I want to talk about what people need to know.
Sure.
But before we get to that, one of our very own, the producer of this show, Michelle, had an interesting experience. She got an email from healthcare.gov, said, go check your messages on the website.
Right.
She sort of happened to do that to find out that she was going to lose her coverage if she didn't re-up, which is different than, you know, the open enrollment changing your coverage. What was this about? Did a lot of people get this?
Yeah, so when you're enrolling on the website, the healthcare.gov, or if the state-based exchange has their own website, that's sort of your hub for all of your communication, because they talk to the health plans, but you talk to the website. They sort of govern the whole process. So a lot of times right now what's happening is, you know, sometimes you put in information and later on it gets substantiated. If there's any discrepancies, potentially they might ask for further documents to prove if you live where you say you live, or to prove your income level, to prove immigration status. There was articles talking about how some folks had to reprove their immigration status. Or if health plans are making changes, they might tell you through the email. But you will always get a letter in the mail too. So that's just one way to do it, because they know you have your email address.
But the takeaway from that is if you do get one of those emails, go check your messages.
Definitely.
Yeah, and go to, and I'm going to say this, you didn't necessarily say this, but go to the website yourself. Don't necessarily click that link in the email just in case it's spam or
And
phish.
call your health plan too.
Call your health plan. Okay, so let's go through these 5 things people need to know as we're going through this this open enrollment season. First is understand the options available for next year, because there might be changes.
Exactly. So 12 million people are enrolled currently. The health plans every year assess what plans are selling, what plans aren't selling. So they're going to launch new plans. They might retire old plans, which might be the message your producer's getting. And so you just want to know, you don't have to stick with the same thing you have. Prices may go up, prices may go down. We've seen plans reduce rates. They might have new copays, they might have new provider networks. And so you just want to always make sure you look around. You know, usually with like car insurance, people don't change. They kind of just stay status quo, but I would advocate everyone should always look to see if there's something more affordable or something that's more robust.
And I would imagine also reevaluate what your needs are for that coming
Absolutely.
year.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go to number 2. Validate your doctors are actually in the network.
Yes, great point. So it's very confusing. Doctors might sign a contract with a health plan. It doesn't mean the office staff that you call to book an appointment knows the contract that your doctor signed. So you might say, do you accept this plan? And they may say no, when in actuality they do. So just because the health plan website says that the doctor's in network, I would always call the doctor to verify. Don't just say, do you accept the health plan? Talk about the plan, the name of the product.
The provider of that plan.
So is it the silver plan, the platinum plan? You know, find out exactly what product and plan design you're buying, and then if that physician accepts it, and always verify.
Oh my gosh, you have to be so vigilant, which leads us to this next one, and that is to think about whether or not you're eligible for financial assistance.
Sure. So 75% of the people who have enrollment now are getting financial assistance. That makes the monthly premium cheaper, and that's through an advanced tax credit that you get, or it lowers the copays and the deductibles. It's always important to, if you have changes in your income, to verify, potentially you can get more subsidies, which makes the cost lower, but if you actually raised your income, say you got a new job, or you have more hours on the job and you're getting more income, you have to tell, you know, healthcare.gov that you're making more money, because you'll be held for that tax liability when you do your taxes.
Okay.
So it's always important to make sure whether you're eligible for financial assistance or if you have to change it based on your income fluctuations.
This one to me sounds like common sense, because I think we've all dealt with this if we've had health insurance coverage, and that's maximizing your plan, evaluating whether or not you use those preventative care services or picked up the prescriptions, those kind of things.
Yeah, so it's the end of the year. If you had a deductible, maybe you haven't hit it, and then so it makes sense to make sure, is there anything I have to do before I change coverage? Especially like preventive care. Like every plan that's sold on healthcare.gov covers preventive care visits, well child visits, well woman visits. For men, there's preventive visits. You should never give that free visit away. So if you haven't done it now, you know, do it before December, because everything, your deductible resets, your copays reset in January.
All right. And then the final one is be sure and pay the first month's premium.
Yeah.
What happens if you don't?
So if you looked at the CMS numbers about who enrolled, they had a number of who enrolled, and then they had a number of who was active, and there was about 1 million, 2 million difference because people enrolled, but they never paid the first bill. And so you have to pay the first bill to make sure you get the ID card and your coverage is actually
And
active.
to activate
Yes,
it.
exactly.
All right. This is all wonderful information. Errol Pierre, thank you so much. Come back. We can talk about how this affects immigrants as well the
Yep.
next time you're here, okay?
Definitely.
Errol Pierre, thank you so much.
Thanks.